Wednesday morning, 2008, after that election when President Obama was successful, all of us had worked hard to get him elected.
I think all of labor. I think everybody was happy that we had an opportunity to get initiatives that are essential to us in place to make us stronger.
And I believe our mood was jubilant all over this country, that we had a person in there that could relate to working families.
The White House is pretty nice, but there's nothing like being back in the House of Labor.
A lot of the initiatives that the AFL wanted, that the building and construction trades wanted, never got acted on. And there's a reason for that.
In November of 2010, after the election, and primarily after the election of all these Tea Party folks, it just caused total gridlock.
We lost control, and then it became basically a stalemate to get anything passed.
The stakes are incredibly high for the Insulators and all working men and women in the 2012 election. If we don't get President Obama reelected, we could be looking at the same type of situation that Ohio, Wisconsin, and Indiana is in. There are people that are out to destroy us, and we are the last stop.
Romney endorses what Scott Walker in Wisconsin has done. So if he's elected, we can expect every bit of anti-legislation towards workers that we have ever seen in this country.
It's very important that we get our rank and file members out there to vote, but not just to even vote. We need our members, we need their families, their sons, their daughters, their mothers and fathers to get in line to help us out.
On Election Day in Local 14 in Philadelphia, what we do is we work in a group effort with the building trades. We have political directors for each individual local who work with a joint effort to man the streets, polling stations, and telephones. It's not just a 12-hour day, it could be 14 or 16 hours from start of the day to the end of the day. You can't cry after the fact when somebody gets in. You only have one shot, and the shot is to vote.
It is so important that the Insulators become involved in the legislative process, because that helps us to tell our story and what we bring to the table.
We need to be involved, whether it be on a federal level, a state level, a county level, or a city level. Our livelihood is at stake with the decisions that these politicians make.
The business manager has a responsibility to educate. And there's such a turnover in new membership all the time between young and people leaving who have a full understanding. So we're constantly in an educational mode from an 18-year-old kid to somebody who's leaving at 65 years old, of constantly passing on the message and what we're trying to achieve here.
Local leadership should make sure that they are involved in the International PAC Fund. Everyone should contribute to the International PAC Fund.
We see the money in politics today, okay? Whether it be the Koch brothers or the casino financier that is putting all kinds of money towards the Republicans' campaigns. We in the labor movement need to have funds in order to get a foot in the door.
The congressional elections are very important because it's incumbent on us to get our friends in there who will work with us to protect Davis-Bacon provisions, PLAs, and nobody has a better story than we do on our Mechanical Insulation Incentive Act.
Well, the mechanical insulation bill, I think, it's multi-pronged. It is good jobs. It is, getting the mechanical insulators back to work, but also we live in the green world, and it is about energy efficiency.
The bill provides for a 30% tax deduction for the facility owner for any insulation that's applied that exceeds the ASHRAE standards.
Given the fact that about 75% of all the processes here industrially in the United States generate heat. It's a huge economic problem as far as monies companies are out, that if they can save that energy, maybe they can put that money back into their business, they can hire more people, they can do more research and development. Those are good paying, living wage industrial jobs that are going to benefit us from an energy perspective.
If we use mechanical insulation to help manufacturers reduce the cost of manufacturing their products, they become more competitive. If we use mechanical insulation to help reduce the costs of heating and operating their facilities, we become more competitive.
One of the things that we're so proud of is that our bill is actually bipartisan.
We're about being professional. We're about training people. We want people to make a decent living. And no matter what way we want to phrase it, it comes down to politics.
It's very hard to get members involved, and they don't understand the politics.
For years, we have always stayed under the radar screen.
So we have a big job to do in the future, and it takes communications from the top down to the business managers and presidents and to our local union members that they need to get out and be involved.